Welcome to Holotech. Today we are going to solve a problem called remove duplicates from a sorted array 2. Okay, there was another problem with the sorted array. Means we have to remove, we keep only one duplicate. So here in this problem, it is just like it's an extension version of that problem, and it says like we have to keep a two duplicates numbers, and the third duplicate we have to remove it. Okay, that is a problem statement. Who are like interested in theory, just you can go through this problem statement and understand. I'm directly jumping into the example. Okay, it is easy to understand the problem and solve it. Cool. Now if you see the input, they have given the three numbers once and two times twos and three one time, right? And what is the output they have shown? It is showing like 1 1 2 2 3, right? Because and at the end it is dash. Why? Because there is one extra one exist and they have removed it and they kept it at the last. It doesn't mean like it kept it at the last. So only we have to keep the whatever the sorted numbers are there, we have to keep at the first part of the array, and the last part we should keep it. That's what the problem statement says. Return the k part placing the final result in the first k slots of a nums. Okay, do not allocate extra space for another array. So basically what they are saying, we should not use another array to store the output. We must do this by modifying the input array in place with the O of 1 extra memory. Cool. So there are two approaches to solve this problem. As they said, we should not, if they are allowed to use extra space, definitely the hash map we can use it, iterate through it, and how many times each elements are repeated, that count we can keep in the value, and the key we can keep it as a number. And you can just sort the hash map and put the output array, and you can count that which is an size of the array and return it. Okay, that is how we can solve it, but that definitely going to take O of n time and O of n space complexity. Here we should not use that approach, and we are going to use without any extra space. We are going to solve this without using any extra space. All right, so how are we going to solve it? As you can see it in the input array, they have given you like let's take the first example itself. They have given you elements like this. So if you see the third element and the first element, if you compare it, there is a three times it's repeated, right? If it is repeated, means it is definitely and duplicate exist, correct? So if it is duplicate exist, what we should do, basically we should not add it to the output array, right? Output array means we are just using the existing array itself. That index we should not consider it. And if you move on to the next element, that is basically the 2, and let me take a marker here for you guys to notify. If you take these two elements here and if you compare, and these are not equal, right? And then we should consider this element and we should put it in the output array. So now our output array looks like 1 1 2 2, right? This is the output array. Now move on to the next elements, next indexes. If you move on to the next indexes, so it's going to be 2 and 1. Again it's not equals, right? So it's going to put the 2 also. Next next if you see 2 and 3 are get compared, so these are again not equal, so it's added to the, so rest elements you can keep as it is. So this is the problem, right? We can solve it very easily with the one for loop and using the existing array. So let's write a code for this. As I said, we are going to take one variable called index and it starts with 2. Why? Because we are iterating the array from the second index. Okay, and one for loop, as I said, we are going to take it and start with initialize with I in 2 until nums dot size. Okay, and now basically we should compare the nums of current element and the previous back to second side, the very first element, that is nums minus index, nums of index minus 2. Okay, if it is not equal, right, basically we should compare it. If it is not equal, then only we should replace index of, right? So we should put that index, right, and we should make it as I. we are taking it and putting it to the output array. So if you do a number of time until the size, whatever the duplicate elements are there, those are get replaced by the current element. Okay, now what is the output today? We have to print the index. Now let's submit this code and see whether it works. Okay, we forgot to increment the index. Cool. Let's resubmit it and see it. Cool, submitted and executed successfully. Okay, this is how we can solve this problem. So thank you so much for watching. So in the next video we will be solving another problem. Stay in tune.